That was a big topic. Yeah, everyone gets so nervous for that bike, and then it kept getting cut down, and everyone's making those comments, but it's just saved the legs, I guess, a little more. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the other Connor? You were brief time with seeing him out here?
Yeah, I think it was interesting, like seeing World Juniors. He was a hot topic on some social media, and watching the games and seeing him light up and break records. And you kind of knew he already had that talent, but I've been really impressed meeting him this summer and seeing his work ethic. And he's a rink rat and loves to be around and be shooting pucks and be on the ice long. And you can tell that he's just really ultra focused on his goal and playing. And I think it's hard when you're that young, getting all this hype and pressure and notoriety over things. And he seems to not care too much about that and just wants to be a player and wants to improve and play at the highest level he can. So I think that's what speaks most volume from him, and that's, I think, the most telltale sign of someone going to have a lot of success is when they're focused on the right things.
What was your reaction? What was your reaction to the lottery win? And did you immediately feel the excitement, like, oh man, I can't wait to get to training camp?
Yeah, it's cool to see the reaction, seeing the video from the shed or salt shed, seeing the people there, and then I was sitting at home with my wife, and just we were shocked to see that. I guess that's the beauty of the lottery, is you never know what's going to happen, and that excitement to get him and get that pick is cool. And it's we've been through some tough years, and the fans not seeing a great result from us, and to have a couple of guys that have been drafted the last couple of years, and then him to come in and show some hope for us to build something and have young guys that we can all kind of surround and play with to grow something better in the future.
What do you think about it?
Sorry.
It's the first day of practice, you guys are focusing on D's on, but can you tell already what will make him difficult to defend as a defenseman?
Yeah, he wasn't in my group today, but what surprised me, I knew he had a good release and shot from seeing him in games, and like I said, the World Junior stuff. But in summer skates and things, he seems to have a really good knack of hiding the puck on areas away from defenders. He can hold it wide against his body, and he's good at stopping on his edges and opening his hips up to really create space away from defenders' sticks. And to be able to have that knowledge of knowing how to create separation and, like I said, protect the puck against good defenders, I think that's going to do him a lot of good, and it's going to create those opportunities for him to get that shot off, which obviously is his biggest strength.
What do you think about the Hawks' decision to not have a captain this year? Was this something that they discussed this with you, with the alternate captains beforehand?
No, I thought it made sense. They didn't discuss with us, but I think I could tell right after the season that probably would have been the best move, just having legends like Taser and Kaner being absent, and it's hard for anyone to fill those shoes, I think, and with having a lot of different bodies in and around the team now, I think it's really important as a collective group to lead each other and come together and build something. I think with the absence of some of the guys that have created such a culture and character around this team, it gives the opportunity for us to create something here and build almost from the ground up without some of those guys that have created the names and have put the names in the rafters for us for years. So great opportunity for everyone to prove themselves and try to be a part of this organization for the future, and then to build something with the younger players and come together and lead each other as a collective group is really important.
So are they leaving it wide open, or are they letting you guys decide? Or
decide what?
Alternate captains at least.
I don't know. They haven't said anything. I think that stuff, I think they end up just deciding, and they just put A's on jerseys whenever that happens, but I don't think it's something that anyone really thinks too much about, just because you're a leader whether you have a letter on your jersey or not, and I think guys know that when you're on the ice, and whether you played a year or 10 years or 20 years, it's something that you feel a responsibility to help your teammates and be with them and pick each other up, and I think good teams have a lot of leaders that don't wear letters.
You've been here so long, you mentioned Kane and Dave, and you played with so many players kind of come and gone, and does this feel like more of a, kind of a new leaf with just, I guess Bedard coming in with all the young guys, and just, I guess even that change in leadership, and how much for you just having been here in the past, does this maybe feel different?
Yeah, it feels different. Those guys have been such a staple here in the city for so long, and it was such a norm to come in the rink and see Kane and Taves and watch them and follow them and try to play off of their leadership, and whether it's off the ice and how they set the tone for us and habits we have, or whether it's on the ice and trying to play and complement their strengths and them leading wins and getting goals at the big times. But yeah, it's a cool thing, transition to have a couple of young players coming in now that are really strong, and it gives you, I guess, a little bit of that taste of what it was like years ago when Kaner and Tays were coming in as young guys, and it's that excitement. I think it's just fun to see new faces and to have that excitement and hope that everyone has that talent and potential to create something big. What's that? Oh, of course. No, I'm every year here. It's my 7th year. I played with Kaner Taser every year, my career here so far. So you build strong friendships, and those are guys that you get to know. And I think just on your downtimes or ups and downs in the seasons, they're guys that you have kind of deep talks with and learn off each other. And I think they're just, anytime you get to play with Hall of Famers, it's just a blessing every day. So they're definitely missed by everyone.
There was so much made about their exits last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has been such a clean cut, like knowing what you're getting into this year, how much do you feel like that benefits you and the team?
Benefits to have a clean cut from what do you?
Just like everything with Tays and Kane that was over at the end
Uh-huh.
of last year, like heading into this year knowing it's a brand new finish.
Yeah, I think it was hard going through it last year, having Kaner traded and still playing games, or him getting pulled from practice, and going through days when it's so abrupt. But I guess the only benefit is having a long off season to process and move on, and really look forward to the future of what we have to deal with and build on. So I think time is the best way of maybe healing any sort of hard times, and we definitely had a long off season, so we've had time to really reflect and know that we got to put our best foot forward to create a culture and a good team here.
Can you think of any of the things that you're going to miss with those guys? Like Tays would always take every young guy and talk to him, or after a really bad loss, he was always front and center in front of the cameras. What are some of those things you're going to be missing from those guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I think just friendship with those guys is the biggest thing. Just every day, having connection and going to dinners and hanging out around the rink. But even just at the rink, like I said, their skill level and the way him and Kaner excelled when things got harder, I think was the most impressive to see. And sometimes you feel like pressure gets on the team from a bad day or losing, or you're in a game where you're on the road and things are stacked against you. Those guys seem to have that look in their eye, like they wanted to be the one to step up and get the team out of a tough situation. So there's not many players I've played with that are able to do that so often, and to be able to find that extra gear that most guys couldn't. And then on top of that, just their leadership and Taser, just it's cool to learn off of that and see he echoed a lot of everyone being themselves and making sure that they weren't feeling like they had to hide in the shadows of anyone. So coming from, like I said, Hall of Famers like that, it means a lot to know that they're giving guys a green light to speak out and to be comfortable with themselves in the room, and to be the best person player they can be around here.
What was your summer like? What kind of things I know you got married.
Yeah, I got married. That was pretty much took up all the summer. It was planning was not fun. We even had a planner, and it was brutal. So me and my wife were relieved for it to be done. But then the day was awesome. It was amazing and surreal, and like just having everyone, my family being all around Canada and the U.S. and hers being around. She has family in Serbia, and here for them to all be here in our home in Chicago made it great to show them the city and experience that. And it's probably the only time in our lives we'll have them all together. So it was a really surreal day. It was amazing.
What else have you worked on or do?
I was here still training with Brian Kane, and worked on actually just a lot of skating stuff in general. And that's something I continue to build on. The guys seem to get faster every year. So it's something as a defender, you got to be able to move your feet a lot better. So I guess that's something to work on.
What were your impressions of Kevin being paired with him today?
Yeah, it was great. I got to play with him the first day of camp last year, and then I got hurt and did get to skate with him the rest of camp. So I'm excited to be here with him today in this camp. So hopefully we're paired together more days. And he's got such quickness and knack of plays with the puck, and he seemed to have another great year. And in preseason, he really stood out for us last year. So it'll be cool to see him make strides again this year and be alongside him and be able to, like I said, be the slower guy behind him and let him skate with the puck. So he's got good jump out there, and he's a great guy to play with.
There's a lot of competition among the young D-men last
Mhm.
year. It's going to be even crazier this year.
Yeah, it seems like we have a lot. I think that's the sign of just good times and hope, is when you have a lot of competition and you have a lot of guys that you can't even, day one, you wouldn't be able to put your finger on who's going to be in what spots, just because there's such high caliber of talent, especially with the D-men. And it's cool to see all of them, like I said, make strides and see their improvement each year when they come in here for camp. So it'll be fun to see how it shakes up. And I think they're all good enough to play games. So it'll be fun to see what happens. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of all of them throughout the year.
You talked about the the expectations that are on Bedard.
Mhm.
Given his his age and the expectations, how do you as a veteran want to do your part to try and help lead him through this year and give him a chance to be his best?
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to build relationships with the young guys coming in to make them feel comfortable to talk about things, or to read the room or read the day and see if anyone's going through anything hard or needs a bit of support. And I think it's really cool that we added Foligno and Perry this year, because with Foligno being a captain before and Perry having like an amazing career, and even Taylor Hall being a top pick, they've been through those things that Connor's been through. So to be able to have guys like that are supporting you and a fan for you to get through it every day is big. And I think, like I said, the building relationships at the start of the year is important for guys to know that that they have each other's backs and that everyone's in it together, and that it's not him like he feels like he's on his own with the pressure, and it's a team game, and he'll obviously has a lot of expectations, I'm sure, on himself, but it's things that you get through together and you build with your team to be able to excel yourself.
Do you know Foligno from the Columbus
Mhm.
It seems like he's just like the most popular, well-liked guy in the league.
Yes. No, it's hard. It's one of those guys. It's like hard not to like him. And I played at World Championships with him, and then in Columbus, got to know him. Obviously, being around there in the summers a little bit. So he's just like an amazing guy. And I remember being in Columbus. All I'd hear is all the charitable things he's doing with the hospitals and getting back to the community. And on top of that, being a leader. And I worked out with him a little bit. And he's just a horse in the gym and on the ice. So I've learned off him just being in the one tournament at Worlds with him the one year, and just followed him throughout his career, and it's been really cool. It's small, hockey world's small. You always end up coming back together with guys. So he's a guy that's been around for so long, and you can tell right when he comes into the room his impact as an older guy.
Is he fitter than you?
Fitter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll have to. He's a beast. So I don't know. I wouldn't challenge him in anything like physically or fighting on the ice. He's tough, but maybe I could take him in a bike ride or something.